You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. These words from Marcus Aurelius hold a truth many of us overlook. Think about it. How often do you feel overwhelmed by stress, stuck in a loop of frustration, or powerless against life's chaos? Maybe you're constantly chasing happiness but find it slipping further away, or you're paralyzed by setbacks, unsure how to move forward. What if the way out isn't through trying harder, but thinking differently? In the next few minutes, you'll discover 12 transformative habits rooted in ancient Stoic wisdom. Habits that won't just help you survive life's challenges, but thrive. Starting in just 1 week. Ready to take control of your life? Let's begin. Number 1. Focusing on what's in your control. When we go through life without focusing on what's in our control, it often feels like we're caught in a never-ending cycle of frustration. We're constantly battling against things we can't change, like traffic, a bad mood from someone else, or the weather. If you don't follow this habit, you're more likely to get stuck in anger and stress, wasting your energy on things that only take away your peace of mind. The longer you stay fixated on what's out of your hands, the more likely it is that your stress will build up, affecting your physical health and mental well-being. People who struggle to accept things beyond their control often find themselves overwhelmed by anxiety, irritation, or even burnout. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy from Greece and Rome, offers a simple but profound solution. It teaches that while we can't control external events, we always have the power to control our responses. The Stoics believed that our greatest power lies not in changing the world around us, but in how we choose to react to it. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, famously said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." The idea is not to suppress emotions, but to understand and manage them in a way that leads to more peace and less internal conflict. This mindset has been echoed by psychologists as well, including Carl Jung, who said, "I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become." Research supports this perspective. Studies on stress and coping mechanisms show that individuals who focus on what they can control report lower levels of stress and better mental health. For example, a study published in Psychological Science found that people who practice emotion regulation, or consciously managing how they respond to stressors, are less likely to experience anxiety and depression. This aligns with the Stoic mindset that while external events can shake us, our reaction to them is what truly shapes our emotional landscape. In practical terms, you can start by asking yourself one simple question: is this within my control? If not, acknowledge it, accept it, and move on. Next time you're stuck in traffic or facing a situation you can't change, take a deep breath and focus on how you can use the moment to your advantage. You could listen to a podcast, enjoy the music you love, or simply practice mindfulness. The external event hasn't changed, but your reaction to it has, and that's where the real power lies. By practicing this habit daily, you'll gradually find yourself less stressed and more empowered to handle life's challenges with a calm, focused mindset. Number 2, embracing obstacles as opportunities. When obstacles arise, it's easy to see them as setbacks. Most people, when faced with difficulties, get frustrated, discouraged, and sometimes even give up. If you don't follow the habit of embracing obstacles as opportunities, you might miss out on the lessons that come with overcoming challenges. You'll end up avoiding hard situations rather than a stepping stone. This mindset can hold you back, keeping you stuck in a cycle of disappointment and missed growth. When life presents a hurdle, people who don't embrace obstacles often feel defeated, overwhelmed, and stuck in a negative cycle of self-doubt. Stoicism, however, teaches a completely different approach. The Stoics believe that obstacles are not just barriers, they are opportunities for growth. As Marcus Aurelius put it, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. This profound statement means that every challenge we face, whether big or small, can serve as a stepping to me. The Stoics encourage us to ask, what can I learn from this? This shift in perspective helps us use every obstacle as an opportunity to develop resilience, wisdom, and strength. Psychologically, this approach is backed by research. Studies on mindset have shown that individuals with a growth mindset, the belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort, are more likely to overcome obstacles and succeed. Carol Dweck, a leading psychologist in this field, found that people with a growth mindset approach challenges with a sense of curiosity and optimism, seeing them as opportunities for improvement rather than threats. This mindset, which mirrors the Stoic way of thinking, can transform how we handle life's obstacles. Instead of shrinking back from challenges, we start to see them as opportunities for growth and self-improvement. In real life, embracing obstacles can be as simple as changing your perspective on failure. For example, let's say you're facing rejection in your job search. Instead of letting it crush your confidence, view each rejection as valuable feedback. Maybe you need to tweak your resume, improve your interview skills, or adjust your approach. Similarly, if you're facing a personal conflict, don't see it as just a source of stress. Instead, recognize it as an opportunity to practice patience, empathy, and communication. By shifting your mindset and viewing obstacles as opportunities, you unlock the potential for growth in even the most difficult situations. This habit, when practiced consistently, will not only make you more resilient, but also enable you to approach challenges with a sense of purpose and confidence. Number 3, living in the present moment. If you're someone who constantly worries about the future or regrets the past, you might find yourself missing out on the beauty of the present moment. Many people live life on autopilot, consumed by what's coming next or haunted by what's already happened. Without the habit of living in the present, you risk living a life full of anxiety and distraction. If you're always looking ahead, you're never fully experiencing the now. And if you dwell on past mistakes, you prevent yourself from enjoying the simple moments that make up your day-to-day life. People who don't practice living in the present can often feel disconnected from their own lives, overwhelmed by things outside their control. The Stoics had a profound understanding of the importance of the present moment. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most well-known Stoic philosophers, emphasized the importance of focusing on the now when he said, "Do not dwell in the past, do not dream of the future, concentrate the mind on the present moment." Stoicism teaches that the present is the only time we truly have, and it is in the here and now that we can take action, find peace, and appreciate life. By embracing the present moment, we stop letting external worries and distractions cloud our minds, and instead, we become fully engaged with whatever we're doing, even in the smallest moments. This idea of living in the present is not just philosophical. It's also supported by modern psychology. Research on mindfulness has shown that practicing presence in our daily lives can reduce stress, improve emotional regulation, and increase overall well-being. A study published in Psychological Science found that individuals who practiced mindfulness, focusing their attention on the present moment, were better able to handle stress and experience greater life satisfaction. By being more present, we not only enhance our mental health, but also increase our ability to connect with others and savor life's moments. Practically, you can start living in the present by adopting simple mindfulness practices throughout your day. Begin by focusing on your breath for a few minutes each morning, paying attention to the rhythm of your inhalations and exhalations. Throughout the day, engage fully in whatever task is in front of you, whether it's enjoying a cup of coffee, having a conversation with a friend, or going for a walk. Pay attention to the sensations around you, from the taste of your food to the feeling of the sun on your skin. This will ground you in the present and help you enjoy the richness of each moment. By training yourself to be present, you'll find that life becomes more meaningful and the anxiety about what's to come or the regret of what's past begins to fade. Living in the present is a practice that not only enhances your well-being, but also brings you closer to the life you truly want to live. Number 4, building self-discipline. If you're someone who often gives in to instant gratification or procrastinates when things get tough, you might find yourself stuck in a cycle of unfulfilled goals and unachieved potential. Without self-discipline, it's easy to get distracted by short-term pleasures that don't serve your long-term happiness. You may find yourself unable to stick to a healthy routine, avoid responsibilities, or give up on your dreams just when they're within reach. People who don't cultivate self-discipline often face the frustration of knowing they could do more, but feeling too overwhelmed or undisciplined to follow through. Self-discipline, according to Stoic philosophy, is about controlling your impulses, making choices aligned with your values, and consistently pursuing your goals, even when it's difficult. The Stoics saw self-discipline as the foundation of a meaningful life. As Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, wisely put it, "No man is free who is not master of himself." This quote highlights the core Stoic idea that true freedom comes from the ability to control one's own actions, desires, and decisions. By building self-discipline, you gain the power to choose your response to challenges and take the actions necessary to lead a life of purpose. Modern psychology and research echo the Stoic principles, emphasizing the importance of self-discipline for personal success. Studies have shown that individuals with higher levels of self-retreat are more likely to achieve long-term goals, whether it's related to health, career, or personal growth. For example, a well-known study called the Martian Grow Experience found that individuals with high levels of self-discipline for personal success. Studies have shown that individuals with high levels of self-discipline for personal success, studies have shown that individuals with high levels of self-discipline for personal success found that children who could wait for a larger reward later, exercising patience and self-retreat, tended to have better life outcomes, including higher academic performance and better health. These results underline the importance of self-discipline in achieving long-term success. In real life, building self-discipline doesn't require drastic changes all at once. Start small and set clear, achievable goals. For instance, if you want to stick to a workout routine, Commit to a 10-minute daily exercise session and gradually increase the time as you build the habit. The same approach works for other areas of life, like saving money or working on a personal project. The key is consistency. Set specific time blocks for work, meals, and relaxation, and follow through even when motivation is low. Self-discipline isn't about perfection. It's about creating habits that push you toward your greater goals. With practice, you'll find that each small act of discipline strengthens your ability to make better choices, leading to greater achievements and personal satisfaction in the long run. Number 5. Developing emotional resilience. Imagine facing a challenging situation, like a difficult breakup, a major career setback, or simply dealing with the daily frustrations of life. For many people, these events can feel overwhelming, leading to feelings of helplessness, anxiety, and even depression. Without emotional resilience, it's easy to let these challenges define you, dragging you down into a cycle of negative thoughts and emotions. People who lack this resilience often struggle to cope with life's difficulties, sometimes avoiding problems or letting emotions take over in destructive ways. Stoicism teaches us that emotional resilience is not about suppressing our feelings or pretending that everything is fine when it's not. Instead, it's about acknowledging our emotions, understanding their source, and choosing how to respond to them. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic philosophers, emphasized this idea when he wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In other words, obstacles, while challenging, can provide an opportunity for growth. Stoicism encourages us to face our emotions head-on, not as something to be feared, but as part of the human experience that can be learned from and integrated into our lives. Research supports the importance of emotional resilience in mental well-being. A study by the American Psychological Association shows that people with high emotional resilience are better able to manage stress, recover from setbacks, and maintain a positive outlook during difficult times. Emotional resilience allows people to bounce back faster after facing adversity and helps them develop coping strategies that reduce the impact of stress on their mental health. In fact, emotional resilience is linked to lower levels of depression and anxiety, and higher overall life satisfaction. To build emotional resilience in your daily life, start by practicing self-awareness. Recognize when you're feeling overwhelmed or upset, and give yourself permission to feel those emotions without judgment. Then, take a step back and ask yourself, what can I learn from this situation? How can I handle it better next time? Rather than letting emotions dictate your behavior, use them as signals to guide you toward growth. It's also helpful to maintain a support system of friends, family, or mentors who can offer perspective and encouragement during tough times. Remember, emotional resilience doesn't mean you'll never feel upset or frustrated. It means that, over time, you'll become better at navigating those feelings and using them as fuel to keep moving forward. Number 6, practicing memento mori. When you think about your day, how often do you consider the reality of life's brevity? For many people, the idea of death is uncomfortable, something to avoid thinking about until it's absolutely necessary. But what if we could shift our perspective on this? What if instead of seeing death as something dark and distant, we embraced it as a powerful reminder to live fully? People who avoid this truth may spend years drifting through life, procrastinating or putting off important goals, thinking they have all the time in the world. This mindset can lead to regret, missed opportunities, and an overall sense of dissatisfaction. Stoicism teaches us the concept of memento mori, which means remember you will die. This isn't a morbid or depressing thought. Rather, it's a reminder to live intentionally and to make every moment count. By recognizing that our time on Earth is limited, we are motivated to focus on what truly matters and to let go of distractions that don't serve our well-being. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." In other words, our lives are short because we often don't make the most of them. Memento mori challenges us to embrace life's fleeting nature as a reason to act now and to pursue what's meaningful. Science and philosophy alike support this view. Research by psychologists has found that thinking about death, known as death awareness, can motivate people to focus on their values and goals. Studies have shown that people who regularly reflect on their mortality tend to prioritize meaningful activities over shallow distractions and are more likely to take risks to pursue their dreams. This is part of what's called terror management theory, which suggests that thinking about death can lead us to live more fully, aligning our actions with our deepest values. To apply memento mori in your daily life, start by taking a few moments each day to reflect on the fact that life is temporary. This could be a simple thought or a reminder on your phone to keep you grounded in the present. Let this awareness drive your decisions, from how you spend your time to how you treat others. Rather than waiting for a life-changing event to make you realize what's truly important, use this practice to make each day meaningful. Prioritize the relationships and goals that truly matter. And remember that every moment is an opportunity to live with purpose. Embrace life now, with the understanding that it will eventually end, so that when your time does come, you can look back without regret, knowing you made the most of your limited time. Number 7, cultivating gratitude. Have you ever felt overwhelmed by what you don't have, constantly yearning for more money, more success, more recognition? It's easy to get caught in this cycle, especially when society often emphasizes what's next or what's better. People who fall into this mindset might always be dissatisfied, believing that happiness is just around the corner if they can achieve the next big thing. They miss the beauty and contentment found in the present moment. In contrast, practicing gratitude invites us to step back and appreciate what we already have. This simple yet transformative habit can change the way we experience life. Gratitude is not just about saying thank you or recognizing when things go right. It's about fostering a mindset that actively seeks the good in every situation. The Stoics believed in the importance of appreciating what we have. Epictetus, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, suggested that contentment comes not from acquiring more, but from appreciating what we already possess. This mindset is rooted in the idea that external circumstances are not the source of happiness. Our internal attitude toward those circumstances is. In fact, the act of gratitude often serves as a powerful antidote to negative emotions like envy, frustration, and disappointment. Research has shown that cultivating gratitude can have a profound effect on mental health and overall well-being. A study published in the journal Psychological Science found that individuals who wrote down things they were grateful for on a regular basis reported higher levels of happiness and life satisfaction. Additionally, practicing gratitude has been linked to better sleep, improved relationships, and even enhanced physical health. In one experiment, People who wrote gratitude letters or maintained gratitude journals for just a few weeks experienced a boost in their mood that lasted for months. To make gratitude a part of your daily routine, start by reflecting on the things you're thankful for, no matter how small they may seem. This could be anything from the warmth of the sun on your face to the kindness of a friend. Try writing them down in a journal each day, or simply pause for a moment to acknowledge the good things in your life. By focusing on the positive, you train your brain to seek out more of the good rather than the negative. This doesn't mean ignoring challenges, but rather it shifts your focus from what's missing to what's already abundant in your life. By practicing gratitude regularly, you can begin to see your life in a more positive light, building a foundation of happiness and contentment that lasts. Number 8, striving for personal excellence. When people fail to strive for personal excellence, they often find themselves feeling stuck, unfulfilled, or aimlessly drifting through life. Without the drive to improve and grow, mediocrity becomes the norm, and opportunities for self-discovery and achievement slip away. This stagnation can lead to frustration and regret, especially when they compare themselves to others who actively pursue their goals. A life without the pursuit of excellence may feel comfortable in the short term, but ultimately lacks depth and meaning, leaving individuals to wonder if they are truly living up to their potential. Striving for personal excellence has been a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, once wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." This quote encapsulates the Stoic commitment to action over words, urging us to embody the values we admire through our daily choices. Aristotle, another great thinker, described excellence as a habit formed through repeated actions. "We are what we repeatedly do," he explained. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Modern psychology supports this idea through the concept of a growth mindset, popularized by psychologist Carol Dweck. A growth mindset emphasizes that abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort, perseverance, and learning from mistakes. This perspective helps individuals view challenges as opportunities for growth rather than barriers. In practice, striving for personal excellence doesn't mean being perfect. It means consistently working to be better than you were yesterday. Start by setting clear, realistic goals in areas that matter to you, whether it's improving your skills, nurturing relationships, or contributing to your community. Break these goals into small, manageable steps and celebrate your progress along the way. Self-reflection is another key component. Regularly assess where you've succeeded, where you've fallen short, and how you can do better next time. Focus on actions rather than outcomes. What truly matters is the effort and intention you bring to the process. Remember, excellence isn't about competition with others. It's about living in alignment with your own values and potential. By striving to be the best version of yourself, you not only enrich your own life, but also inspire and uplift those around you. In doing so, you'll discover that the pursuit of excellence is not just about achieving great things, but about living with purpose, integrity, and fulfillment. Number 9, practicing reflection. When someone neglects the habit of reflection, life can feel chaotic and unexamined. Without pausing to assess their actions, emotions, and decisions, they may repeat mistakes, miss opportunities for growth, and lose sight of their values. Days blend into each other, and life becomes a series of reactions rather than intentional choices. Over time, this lack of reflection can lead to feelings of dissatisfaction as people wonder why they aren't moving closer to their goals or living a life that feels meaningful and aligned with their true selves. Reflection is a powerful practice rooted in both Stoic philosophy and modern psychology. Marcus Aurelius famously used his personal journal, later known as Meditations, to review his thoughts and actions. He wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love." By reflecting, he sought clarity and focus, ensuring that his actions aligned with his principles. Psychology backs this up with research showing that reflective practices, like journaling, can reduce stress, enhance problem solving, and improve emotional regulation. A study published in Psychological Science found that people who reflected on their successes and challenges experienced greater motivation and clarity in their pursuits. Reflection, whether through writing or mental review, gives us the insight needed to course correct and grow. To practice reflection in your own life, start by setting aside a few quiet minutes each day, preferably in the evening, to think about your day. Ask yourself, what went well today? What challenges did I face, and how did I respond? Were my actions aligned with my values? Writing these answers in a journal can make the process more effective, helping you spot patterns over time. Reflection doesn't have to be time-consuming. Just 5 to 10 minutes of focused thought can yield significant benefits. Another way to deepen your reflection is by integrating gratitude into the practice. As you review your day, also identify moments that brought you joy, no matter how small. This not only helps you grow, but also cultivates a positive outlook on life. If you find yourself struggling with self-criticism, remember that reflection is not about beating yourself up for mistakes, but about learning from them. The goal is progress, not perfection. By making reflection a daily habit, you'll gain greater self-awareness and control over your life. It's a tool for navigating challenges, celebrating victories, and ensuring that you're not just living, but living with purpose and intention. Number 10. Embracing vulnerability. When someone avoids vulnerability, they often build walls to protect themselves from judgment, rejection, or pain. While this might seem like a strategy for safety, it often leads to isolation, shallow relationships, and missed opportunities for growth. Without vulnerability, people struggle to express their true selves, ask for help, or take risks, which can stifle personal and professional development. Over time, this avoidance can create a facade of strength, while internally fostering loneliness, insecurity, and dissatisfaction. The power of vulnerability has been explored extensively in philosophy and modern psychology. The Stoics believed in accepting and confronting the truths of our nature, including our weaknesses. Epictetus taught that it is not events that disturb people, but their judgments concerning them. Acknowledging our vulnerabilities means reframing them not as weaknesses, but as opportunities to connect and grow. In contemporary psychology, Dr. Brené Brown's groundbreaking research highlights that vulnerability is the cornerstone of meaningful relationships, creativity, and courage. Her studies reveal that people who embrace vulnerability experience stronger connections and greater emotional well-being as they let go of the fear of imperfection. Practicing vulnerability starts with small, intentional steps. Begin by acknowledging your emotions and sharing them with someone you trust. For example, If you're feeling overwhelmed at work, instead of hiding your struggle, talk to a colleague or manager. This doesn't just invite support, but also strengthens your relationships. Similarly, in personal life, sharing your fears, dreams, or mistakes with a close friend or partner fosters deeper trust and intimacy. Another way to embrace vulnerability is by taking risks in areas where fear holds you back. Whether it's speaking up in a meeting, sharing your creative work, or pursuing a new opportunity, remind yourself that courage doesn't mean the absence of fear, but the willingness to act despite it. Vulnerability is about showing up authentically, even when there's no guarantee of a specific outcome. Finally, practice self-compassion. Accept that everyone has flaws, and being vulnerable is a sign of strength, not weakness. When you embrace vulnerability, you create space for growth, connection, and authenticity. Instead of fearing judgment, you'll find that most people respect and appreciate genuine honesty. In a world that often rewards perfectionism, embracing vulnerability is a radical act of self-acceptance and courage. Number 11, accepting change. When someone resists change, life can feel like a constant uphill battle. Imagine clinging to old habits, relationships, or routines that no longer serve you simply because the unknown feels daunting. This resistance creates frustration, stagnation, and sometimes even suffering, as change is inevitable. Whether it's losing a job, navigating a breakup, or adjusting to new technology, people who resist change often feel left behind, trapped in an unyielding cycle of fear and dissatisfaction. Instead of adapting and thriving, they expend energy fighting the natural flow of life, leading to stress and missed opportunities for growth. Philosophy and science alike have long embraced the necessity of change. Heraclitus, the ancient Greek philosopher, famously said, "The only constant in life is change." In Stoic thought, Marcus Aurelius urged, "Observe constantly that all things take place by change, and accustom yourself to consider that the nature of the universe loves nothing so much as to change." From a psychological perspective, studies on adaptability show that people who accept change tend to have lower stress levels and higher emotional resilience. Neuroscience also reveals that our brains are wired to adapt through neuroplasticity, meaning we can create new pathways and habits if we allow ourselves to embrace the process of change. Practically accepting change begins with mindset shifts. Start by reframing change as a neutral or even positive force. Instead of saying, "Why is this happening to me?" try asking, "What can I learn from this?" For example, losing a job might be devastating, but it could also be the nudge needed to explore a new career path or develop a long overdue skill. Another strategy is to stay present during transitions. Focus on what you can control in the moment and break overwhelming changes into manageable steps. If you're moving to a new city, rather than dwelling on the unknown, start by researching neighborhoods, connecting with local groups, or setting small goals to ease into the new environment. Journaling can also help in accepting change. Write about your fears and hopes surrounding a transition, and identify areas where you have agency. Gratitude practices can further ground you by focusing on what remains constant and positive in your life, despite the external shifts. Ultimately, accepting change is about flexibility and trust in yourself and in life's unfolding. When you stop resisting, you find the strength to flow with change rather than against it. This doesn't mean it will always be easy, but each adjustment builds resilience, leaving you better equipped for the future. Change is not the end of something, but the beginning of something new. Number 12, practicing compassion and empathy. When someone neglects compassion and empathy, their interactions with others often become cold and transactional. This lack of emotional connection can lead to misunderstandings, conflicts, and even isolation. Picture someone brushing off a colleague's struggles, dismissing a friend's pain, or responding to disagreements with anger instead of understanding. Over time, this behavior erodes relationships and leaves the person feeling disconnected, lonely, and misunderstood. A life devoid of empathy not only damages bonds with others, but also fosters a hardened perspective, making the world feel like a more hostile and unforgiving place. The philosophy of compassion is deeply rooted in Stoicism and many other traditions. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Whenever you are about to find fault with someone, ask yourself the following question: what fault of mine most nearly resembles the one I am about to criticize?" This sentiment urges us to see others' humanity, recognizing that we all struggle. Modern psychology supports this, showing that practicing compassion increases emotional well-being, reduces stress, and even enhances longevity. Empathy triggers the release of oxytocin, the bonding hormone, which helps strengthen relationships and fosters trust. Research also reveals that acts of kindness activate the brain's reward centers, making compassion beneficial for the giver as much as the receiver. To practice compassion and empathy in daily life, start by being an active listener. When someone shares their thoughts or feelings, give them your full attention without rushing to respond or judge. Try to truly understand their perspective by asking thoughtful questions like, "How are you feeling about this?" Or, "What do you need right now?" This simple act can make someone feel seen and valued. Another way to cultivate empathy is through small, deliberate acts of kindness. Whether it's holding the door for a stranger, sending a thoughtful message to a friend, or volunteering your time, these actions strengthen your connection to others. When disagreements arise, pause before reacting. Instead of assuming ill intent, consider the other person's background or circumstances that might influence their behavior. Gratitude practices can also deepen empathy. By appreciating the support and kindness you've received from others, you become more inclined to offer the same in return. Reflecting on shared human experiences like joy, pain, and growth reminds you that we're all navigating challenges in our unique ways. Practicing compassion and empathy doesn't mean tolerating harmful behavior or ignoring your own boundaries. Instead, it's about approaching others with kindness, understanding their struggles, and recognizing the shared humanity that connects us all. Over time, this practice transforms not only your relationships, but also your outlook, fostering a world that feels more supportive, connected, and meaningful. We're almost done with this video, but before you move on, I want you to reflect on your life. Are you going to stay stuck, feeling drained and defeated? Or are you ready to take charge and transform your future? If you're ready to make that change, I want you to make a commitment. Drop a comment below and say, "I am determined to live my best life no matter the obstacles. I will succeed." I'll be reading through all your comments and I'll feature the most inspiring one on our channel. If you want more life-changing content, make sure to hit that subscribe button.